not a country song. So I think genres are very, I like to reference certain ideas in the music that I make. You can always pull a blues thing, you can pull a country thing, you can mash them all together, you know. But I've definitely, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I've definitely always, you know, I hear a certain song, and this is the great thing about being a musician. You can hear a song and go like, I'd like to do that, and you can do that. You take a piece of it, you go, pedal steel. Yeah, let's put pedal steel on this. You know, it's been really fun for me to have that kind of freedom. Now, after I heard everything I thought there was to hear, then I heard the Grateful Dead. And I had to hear everything first. There are certain artists that, like, I could tell you right now about Bob Dylan, and I can tell you how incredible Bob Dylan is, but until you find Bob Dylan, it is nothing to you. I could play it for you right now. 2 people would get it. All of you will, at some point in your life, get it when you reach naturally that place. After you hear everything until Bob Dylan. And the same thing worked for me with Grateful Dead. I had heard everything until the Grateful Dead. I had to hear everything until the Grateful Dead. And when I heard that, I went, oh, this is where that extra kick I needed is coming from. Because I had heard every harmonic thing there was to hear. And then I heard this opening up of the harmonic space and the rhythmic space. I loved it so much that I would listen to it in the car, and I would actually audio record on my iPhone what was coming through the speaker. I didn't know anything about what song it was or what day it was from. I had to do that. What is that thing that's going on? And so when it found me, I was ready for it. I fell in love with it, and then I had the opportunity to tell Bob Weir and Mickey Hart what I thought of the music, and they invited me up to play with them, and I just knew, listen, I'm just very nervy. I knew I had to play that music. I had to play it. Just like you're here, you have to play music, you have to make music. As insecure as you might be, you still have to do it. Your feet are gonna walk you to the stage, even when you say, I don't wanna do it. And I'm driven to stuff, and I cherish the moments I'm driven to stuff because they get further and fewer between as you get older. And so when you catch that big download, boy, is it fun to take it. And I heard all that music, and it's a little bit, and I said this in the press, and like, sometimes my metaphors, people they gravitate more to the fact that I made a metaphor than to what the metaphor is saying. And every once in a while, you find a band and you go, oh, I like this, and there's 30 years of this, and they recorded every night. Oh, bye, everybody. I'm binging. And so I was able to be gifted the opportunity to play on those arrangements. You know, I was gifted the opportunity to fly with the Blue Angels, and it was a gorgeous, gorgeous thing that I'm still unpacking the loss of. You know, Bob Weir passed away, so I'm still trying to figure out where appreciation and loss intersect. Yeah, I guess a good way to say it. And no metaphors. That was not a please clap. That wasn't a please clap. That was me clapping for me. I don't know which one is worse.
Yeah, right. Your own best
asking
efforts.
you to clap for me, or me taking a brief moment to applaud myself. I don't know.
And who knew it would soar to the heights that it did? I mean, you know, stadiums are one thing, but you know, the Sphere, multiple.
We got to go do the Sphere, which was great. I always thought that if Grateful Dead were around, or maybe I should say, if the Sphere were around during the time of the Grateful Dead, they would have done it.
That would have been their home.
They would have done the Sphere, and so that was my take on designing the show. Is what would they have done? And it was based off of, like, you know, because I creative directed the show, kind of wrote the show, and I could go back to those moments, and you won't know this, but like in the 70s and 80s at these cheap little carnivals, there used to be these old little rocket ship looking things that you would get in, and the thing would move about that much, and you'd see like a little television of space, but we're going up, and it was like really cool to do in the 70s and 80s, and I was like, let's do the 2024-25 version of the Midway Carnival Space Shuttle hydraulic ride, and it turned out really great. It was great.
Now I wish I had seen it, you know, because I never got a chance to, witness the.
Is there?
You were there.
I have a question for you now. Is there an artist that you still to this day lament that you were never able to see and could have and didn't? I mean, it's not this, but in your years, is there one artist that you had the opportunity to see and you went, I'll see him some other time, and then you couldn't?
Well, first of all, I regret never meeting Marvin Gaye.
But could have.
No, I mean, I suppose I could have, because at the time when I was with Stevie, you know, that I guess that would have been a
hell of a good reason not to meet Marvin Gaye. Because you're busy with Stevie Wonder.
Well, you know, I mean, kind of didn't mean it that way, John, but
no, but it's great.
No, I mean, I'm saying because of my access to Stevie,
it's still great.
It would have been easy, but I didn't get it. But I was in Montreux, Switzerland in '91, I believe, and Quincy Jones managed to convince Miles to come back and recreate Sketches of Spain. And I could have played with him, but I didn't want to because I was scared.
Wow. Would you be scared today? If you were the person you are now, if you were back then, if you could warp back then, would you have been scared today?
I would have been more brave today.
And you think bravery is what it takes?
To a great extent, because of the wide variety of artists that I previously worked with. But I just held Miles in this other stratosphere.
You couldn't have lived in a world where it didn't go well. You'd rather live in a world where it didn't happen at all than one.
Than be that. I just tanked. Yeah.
I understand that.
You know.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Cool. Anyway, back to you.
In your body, no, I said that already. Not your body. What was your goal in releasing your first record? And here's where I'm going to. What was the goal of releasing your first record? Was it to have a hit? Was it to establish yourself as a credible artist, musician or songwriter? Was it to make a lot of money, or did you even have a goal?
I didn't think that a hit was even possible. And this goes back 25 years, and so if you think that it's a new thing, that there's not a ton of encouragement for being a new artist, it was the year 2000, and I was going up and down between Atlanta, where I lived at the time, and New York, where the record people live, and I was going up and down and meeting with them, and they were just telling me, like, your style of music isn't really hot right now, so we don't really know what to do. And they would say, we can put you on Windham Hill, which was, honestly, God, look, Windham Hill was like the Yankee Candle of records. I don't,
you don't want
what
to.
do I care if someone from Windham Hill is going to be upset? I mean, if you're on Windham Hill, you're probably like, yeah, he's right. You know,
Get over it.
Yeah, it's. If you want to see a painting of a piano in the snow on an album cover, it's a Windham Hill. That's where they wanted it. And so I didn't know that having a hit was even on the table. So for me, oh man, it was like, I've got to get this out. I've got to get this to exist. There are things I know that other people have to know I know. Other people have to, I have to make it. I have to, not make it as an artist. I have to make it. I have to create it. I have to get it out. I know I have ideas. I know these are good ideas. I have to make a statement. I need people to know where I stand. I need people to know who I am. Money didn't come for a very long time. I was playing gigs and I was still ducking credit card company calls. Like, I went to a credit consolidation place. I called back in the day when they had Mars Music. I wanted to buy gear. It was like Guitar Center. And I wanted to buy an SP202 Roland drum machine, which has sort of come back now. It's just a sampler. You can't really, it just plays samples. And I needed a Roland VS 840, I think it was called. which was a little zip disc recorder. I needed to build this rig in my bedroom because I had to make this record. And I would call credit card companies and I'd say, can I get like 2,500 more bucks? And then eventually they would start calling me and telling me that I was overdrafted and I owed them money. And I said, listen, can you just run the tab? Don't call me anymore. I don't suggest everybody do this, but I treated myself like I was running a company. And I know that sounds cold, but not company in a cold way. I knew that I had things to do. I knew that I had a goal. If I can get the thing, I can make the song. If I can make the song, I can hand it. And so I was just on this tear to be understood. That's all I cared about. I figured, though, that what I was making, because I could hear what I was making, I figured it had some merit. I thought, and I have made records like this since. It's harder for me to do it now. I want to make the record that I want to hear that falls between two records I've already heard. And I don't know how big the space has to be between those two things, but I want to find a parking space. I want to make the record that, based on everything I've heard and loved, is going to stand apart and like just live in between two other records, you know. It's harder to do now, and I don't envy your position in the world because the parking lot is huge.
And that's really specific.
It's really hard to find a place to even land your shot because there's very little space between each piece of work, and that is just going to spur on your creativity as to how to figure that out. What is the statement? What is the statement that you make in some pretty crowded airspace? How do you respond to a world that has so many different ways to express itself, and it's just windage and elevation, and you're trying to just get something across. Meanwhile, you're hearing more stuff all the time, and you're going, well, now I think I might want to do something. Oh, it just changed. We regret to inform you that the coolest thing in the world is now not the coolest thing in the world. And you've just heard 17 other people write the song you tried to write. There's a girl on Instagram right now. She's sitting cross-legged on her bedroom floor, and she's written a highly specific lyrical verse about therapy and pills. And so someone is singing breathy and specific. Oh no, I was going to be breathy and overly specific in my lyrics. Where do I fit in? But let's go back to 2000, where there was a guy, every label would say to me, right now it's, and these were the names, it's Incubus, it's POD, it's heavy metal, it's TRL, you'll never get on TRL. And I went, okay, but I still have an idea that's not going to put the fire out. I have to do it. So that's what I was driven by. When I first had a hit, I guess No Such Thing was my first single, but Your Body is a Wonderland was like the hit that like grabbed me. People would yell it in the airport, you know? That's a hit. People yell the name of your song to you at the airport, and that's a hit. But I didn't know it at the time, and I remember asking my manager, he was driving, I'm riding shotgun, I'm like, so is it a hit? Oh, it's a hit. Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it's a hit. And that's when I learned you'll never feel a hit. If you have a hit, you'll never feel that you have a hit. Maybe now you can. What's that?
I can absolutely attest.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, what makes you think of that?
Well, I've heard so many artists in the past that I've worked with say the exact same. Lionel Richie, right? Never cared about All Night Long. Just no. Was not feeling it.
Why not?
He just didn't think it was a hit. I mean,
I just think you're too busy making. If you're lucky enough to get a song that catches fire, you're like in the bubble, and all you know is you just. I mean, it's funny. I know we're jumping around, but I had a hit not that many years ago, recent enough for me to not feel bad about myself just yet, but it's coming. A song called New Light that came out in 2018. And I said to myself, because years had gone by since I'd had like a hit before then, and I was like, I'm going to pay attention to what's different in my life. And the only thing that's different is emails. You'll get an email that's forwarded your manager's already replied to it, and you look down, he goes, amazing, keep it going. And you look down and it goes, just want to let you know he's moved from 23 to 12, and you just write back like this, amazing, thank you so much. Same day. So the other thing I want to say is, I think we have to radically redefine what a hit is anymore. If you look at Spotify's changed recently. I think the world has come back around to me where I could have a hit, but it's nothing I could aim for, and it's nothing you should aim for. I go out, and you're on these stages where I play tons of songs that weren't quote-unquote hits, and people sing them along like they do. They feel like
first of all, they love the deep cuts, and they love your deep cuts.
There's hits, and then there's important songs. And you can't control hits, but you can kind of control important songs. You can kind of hope to write important things, and things that have some longevity. I know it's very hard to predict but yeah, it's not, because if you make music that you think has some fundamental anchoring to it as a song, and not necessarily as something that's momentary, because I know all the stuff that's momentary, and by the time I was able to figure it out, it would be over. So I have to kind of stick to, like, we know now the songs that live for 50 years, and they have a similarity to them. Wouldn't you agree? There's a craft to them. There's a craft. There's a fundamental craft to it. And you can definitely, listen, you can go off and do whatever you like, and you should go off and do whatever you like. But then again, you hear Dreams Come On by Fleetwood Mac. Boom, 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 and it's like, why does that lay you out? Why does that make you go, give me that again? Give me that again.
But check that out, to that specific song.
Because it's a 4 to a 5 and it never goes to a 1.
Exactly, but do you know the inspiration of that song?
Dreams?
Yeah.
Oh, what song?
Yeah.
Can I guess?
Okay,
Can I guess?
Yeah.
And it's good. It's a good guess no matter what.
Okay.
I'm going to say How Long by Ace.
Nope.
Okay.
I found out, and I think I found out from Quest, that the inspiration for that, and it's written on the box of the tape, the inspiration for Dreams was that.
You going over the piano? I work on the dynamics of this song. One of the greatest musicians that's ever lived because of his intentionality. And I taught myself how to play piece. I used to notice blue and green, but I forgot the modulation. And it's also a song called Some Other Time. It's certainly, okay, so I was actually talking about this with a producer yesterday. Can you hear me okay through this? Okay, so I was talking about this yesterday, how the song contextualizes the music. So I could play the beginning of Slow Dancing in a Burning Room and you know it, because your mind immediately hears the whole song. And you have to write the song to contextualize what the guitar part is. Nothing you write sounds good until a song goes on it. And then once you play just the first part of the song, and you go, well, that's special. That's not that special. The song is special, so the fact that it belongs. And I'm saying this only because I'm starting to write more songs. I have half a record, and I want to write the other half, but I want that half to be better than the first half. And I get caught up in the same problem, which is, it doesn't sound like anything. Nothing sounds like anything until it is a song. And then it's a song, and then you go... Yeah, I can do that. Go ahead, bring it.
Okay, so listen, I'm wondering. No, I got it. Where's Jaden? Come here, Jaden. Come here. I gotta go. Come on down, Jaden. You just won a chance to get a guitar from John Mayer.
You do know how to play something. Yeah. Yeah, I think you play the acoustic. All right. Sure. You're turning the relative minor into sort of the minor. You're giving it the feeling of da da da. Yeah, that's right. Right. Sorry, we do this thing where I don't know his next chord. And it's the most fun game in the world. You've got to do it. Get someone else to do this with you. You both have the instrument, and they play a chord, they run through, and you've got to catch immediately what the shape of your notes has to be over the chord. It's the most fun. We would do it on stage.
We do it all the time.
But let's go. So, slow dancing in a burning room. You tell me what you'd like me to. Okay, so we're in, and I like to explain it based on what it's based off of. Because sometimes people can play just the part. So you know, it's an E major pentatonic. So it's basically, and all I'm doing is string jumping it. It's still in the pentatonic, but then we get into what I would do a lot of the time is when I'm playing pentatonics. I don't even have it, like there's people who are really good at going up and down the scales with double stops. I don't, I'm lazy. I will cop to being lazy. I don't know everything. Last move up and down, but so it's just double stops. C sharp minor, 7, A, and that's the progression. But you do know how to play it.
that we're looking on. It's a scene I hold you like I want to, so I can feel you in my arms. Nobody's gonna come and save you. Put too many false alarms. We turned the reverb back down. It's cool where it was. We're going down. You can see it too. We're going down. And you know that we're doomed. But my dear, we're slow dancing in a bound room. I was the one you always treated. You were the one I tried to draw. How dare you say it's nothing true? Baby, you're the only love song. I make the most of all the sights. Yeah, because you can. You try to hit me just to hurt me, so you leave me feeling dirty. Cause you can't understand. We're going down. And you can see it too. We're going down. And you know that we're doing. Oh, my dear, we're slow dancing in a band. You feel like you could play on that guitar over something?
Well, they already said it. It's neon. That's it. I mean, that's...
So I could I want to show you how bringing the dynamic down is just as powerful as bringing it up. Oh, okay. Let's see. Wait, did it say C?
Wait, that's just so cool. Can you just slow that down? I mean, this is so, it's the dopest thing.
It sounds like a bunch of, it sounds like da 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 da. It's, watch the right hand.
Woo!
So, I even have to play it where the low E is, because the low E is tuned down, I have to play the low E lighter than the rest of my strings. Because if I'll throw it out of, it'll go ooh. So my thumb has to be lighter than, and that came from playing alone. Because if I was in E, if you want to play open string down here, everything's in E, and if I tune it down to C. So I would sit in home and I go, okay, well this changes everything. Well, what do I have? If I wanted to stay in C, this is how I wrote Neon. I want to stay. It was also, I have to say, inspired by this great guitar player named Charlie Hunter, who plays an 8-string guitar and was playing bass and guitar at the same time, which got me to think about, well, I want to stay in the C pentatonic, so what's around here? To sit at home and, well, now I've got, that would be my intro. Well, what's around here now? It's like an alternate tuning. Well, so let's say I'm in the middle of the song, right? And it's, I'm going, I can be her ranger now. You know it's not my place to hold her down, and it's hard for me to take a stand when I will take her any way I can. Oh, she comes and she goes like no one can. She comes and she goes. She's slipping through my head. She's always buzzing just like neon, neon. I took that time to suck you in with the dynamic because you've been getting, the acoustic guitar loves to go as soon as you hit it too hard. It loves to just, the strings have a theoretical limit to where they stop ringing and they start choking. And you have to learn when you use that to get people to go, wow. And when you use it to get people to go, so I can go, she comes and she goes. It gives people a break. I'm working alone. I need to use dynamics. It's my only tool at that point. It's familiarity, a little bit of talent, and mostly dynamics. And so learning to work inside, because you know, to see people, it's really easy to go. You can do it, but not for very long. So you have to reverse engineer it, so that if after 45 minutes you get there, you've got people they've set their horizon line right to where you're at. And I'll come up with stuff alone on the solo tour. Like I had to figure out New Light, right? New Light is something based on a lot of little tracks. How do I arrange it? And I started. there, but you can go
take a ride to Malibu. I just wanna say, look at you, oh, none of your friends do. Who cares what other people say? Anyway, oh, we can go far from here and make a new world together, baby.
just to get people to come out, right, and back to the thing. So sometimes you ever just go out of your apartment or your house, you don't even want to do the thing you're doing, but you just want to come home. You gotta leave to come home. Sometimes I leave the house just to experience coming home. And so that's what it's like. We're moving venues. I'm doing all. I can embellish whenever I want. I want to impress upon you that you have hundreds of tools at your disposal at any moment. You see people come up with cover songs while they're playing. That's a brilliant way every once in a while if the crowd's not with you.
Oh, talking away.
If I'm in a room that's an away game where the people don't really care, they're gonna pay attention. That's one of the tools. And I just want everything's a tool at your disposal when you're performing. Just want to say that back here.
Okay, so how the time flies when you're hanging with John Mayer. I want to be fair, and I know the staff said, all right, we're going to give it till 6, and then it's going to be a problem. Oh, it's been a couple days. No, we started in the late 70s. No, we started it just after 4, around 4:15, and now it's 5:35. So listen, I want to be fair to you all. We managed to get pretty much all I wanted to get in.
Well, that sounds like this. I don't know that that's the music you want to make. So what I do is I go, what would you hum? Which one? Which one? 3, motif. Now you really want that one. Right? If you can, my soloing is an extension of the thing I want to sing. If I was teaching anyone guitar one-on-one, I'd sit down and I'd go, forget about playing the guitar right now. I'm gonna go. What would you hum? If you start playing what you would hum, it's a whole different thing. And playing, I don't like it. I've heard it a lot. I don't think that's a good, I don't like that. It's not what I would hum. Maybe it's a note of opportunity because it lives inside, very safely inside of the box. And it's a note of opportunity. It's just there, and it feels good. And that thing. So I'm trying to find the thing other people wouldn't necessarily do. And I think the minute you mix major and minor as a guitar player, so guitar players, there's a big split in the soloing. It's a major pentatonic or a minor pentatonic. And if you can talk in the same way, B.B. King would play major thirds inside of playing blues music. You know, it wasn't so. If you can blend, that's the thing, blend major and minor. We have to go. People have schedules. I feel bad.
No, don't feel bad.
Because they feel bad. They think I understand.
I know. Well, listen, I'm going to call it. This has been nothing short of...
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you.
Thank you. I have to say, this has been nothing short of spectacular. This was a dream. This wasn't even a reality a week ago. I could go into the details, but it's just awesome to see God working out miracles.